This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online community with more than 13,000 classes taught by professionals in design, photography, and much more. You can learn many useful skills to advance your career or just have fun. Click the link in the description to get unlimited access to Skillshare for free for 2 months. If you like the service, then stay for around $10 a month or cancel with absolutely no obligation. Click the link in the description to get started.
Hello everyone and welcome to my After Effects tutorial. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to create this awesome motion background in Adobe After Effects. So this was done for Valentine's Day, keeping Valentine's Day in mind, and this is just perfect for that because you can add your partner's name in the center, add some images, and make this a lot better. And this is very easy to do. So it's very good. You can present your partners with some awesome animations instead of just giving them cards and impress the hell out of them. So I hope you enjoy, and with that being said, let's get started. Now I would like to warn you that awesome people, my After Effects may crash today because yesterday I installed Sony Vegas on this machine. So things can get a little difficult, but I'll do my best. Comment below if you understood the joke or no, and tell me how was it, if I delivered it right or no, and if you want to give me some tips for jokes, please leave the comments below. So let's get started. I already have created my composition over here, and what we're going to need in today's video is a design of this heart. Now the best way to do this is in Adobe Illustrator. Unfortunately, I don't know that program, so I went to this website called Vect-Yeezy. I'll leave a link to this in the description, and I downloaded the file. It's a free download, and I used this heart shapes right here, right? So let me just show it to you. This is what we're going to be using. This is what we're going to be needing to follow, and it's for free, so you can do it, and you can also create this in Photoshop. That would also work, right? Import that file into After Effects, and let's just bring this composition, this small composition, down over here. Let's switch it off, and now we'll create a new solid. I'm going to call this Particular, and actually I'm going to call this hearts underscore big, right? I'll go here to effects and presets, type in Particular, and apply this to the solid that we just made. Now a lot of people get confused in this, is that how do you change the particle to something else? So for example, in this, what we want is we want the heart shape to be coming instead of these spheres, right? How do you do that? A lot of people go to emitter and change it to layer. They go to over here to emitter type and change it to layer. This will not work, awesome people. The correct way to do this is to go to particle setting over here, go to particle type and change it to textured polygon fill, right? Right now nothing is going to happen, but we'll have to go to texture setting over here, and in layer change it to heart, right? It's going to give me a little warning saying that my composition, this pre-comp heart, is too big, but click OK, and you can see that now we're going to get hearts instead of spheres, right? If I increase the size a little bit, maybe you guys can see this a bit better, right? Superb. Next, we're going to go here back to emitter, and we'll change it to point to box. This way we're going to get these three settings over here, and this way we can define the box, the emitter size. Now I want my emitter to be 1500 by 1000. This is so that it's a little bit bigger than my pre-composition. So if I go to composition settings, you can see that my composition is 1280 by 720. So I want the emitter to be a little bit bigger. It's going to be somewhere in that range, right? A little bit bigger than the pre-comp. If you're going to go for full HD, then make it a little bit bigger than that. Okay, superb. And for the Z value, I'm going to keep in 2500. This way we're going to get some nice parallax, and this looks good. Awesome. Next, we'll go back to particle settings, and I'll increase the size from 8 to about 35, right? So this way we're going to get some nice sized particles. Increase the size random from 0 all the way up to 100, and then we'll go back to particle and we'll decrease the particles per second down to 50. This way we just have a few hearts, right? And this is awesome. Now the hearts are looking good, but there's this popping effect in at the start, and that is what not what we want, right? We want them to be slowly coming in, right? Should be smooth. So we'll go under particle settings, we'll go to size over life, and we'll go to presets. If you cannot see this, just extend your effects control a bit, go to preset and take this third option. I'll click on the smooth button a couple of times just to smooth out the edge over here, right? And once you have something that you like, you can just copy this, because we'll need to paste this in opacity overlife. So if I paste it over here, now if you look at the animation, it's going to be a lot better, right? So much better. Super. We do not want the speed, like the way that they are moving right now. That's a little too fast, so we don't want that. What we'll do is we'll go back up to emitter. Now there's going to be a lot of back and forth, awesome people. This is going to help you understand things a bit better. So we want to remove the velocity, right, from the animation. We'll go to velocity and we'll decrease this down to 10. I wouldn't advise you to go for 0 because that would make it very static. We don't want that. We want them to be moving slowly. So change everything else to 0, but keep the velocity, the main velocity, to 10. We'll come down here. Now if we play this, you will see that the hearts do have a little bit of motion, but it's not exactly what we want. In the preview, you can see the hearts were moving up, right? And this is a really nice effect. So in order to create that, we'll come here down to physics, and we'll change the gravity to -10. This way, if we preview things, you will see that they are now going up, right? Floating up in a sense. This looks nice. I'll change this to -15 to give them a little more speed towards going up, right? Much better. Super. Next, what we'll do is we will decrease the particles per second a little bit more. I'll change it to 35. Yeah, much better. This is superb. Next, we'll try to create a background. Now, so I'm going to press Ctrl Y for creating a solid. Name it BG, and I'll put it over here. And I'll go to FX and presets, type in 4 dash, and this way I'm going to use the 4 color gradient, apply it to the BG solid. And for now, I'm just going to change everything to this pink color over here, right? And now you can go to color 1 and all the different colors and change their settings just a bit. So this way you have a basic color setting done already. You don't have to use a scrub over here, and you can adjust things just a bit. So you get like a basic definition of what color you want to be in. So this looks good to me. And okay, so this is what I like. It has some nice depth in it, different shades I can see. Looks really good. If you cannot get what you want, then I would say experiment a bit, invest your time in creating a good background. It's gonna pay off later. We'll go back to hearts big solid that we have made, and what I'll do now is I'm going to try to color the white hearts that we have. This looks good. We can continue like this, but I really want to go for some color in the hearts. So we'll go to particle type, and I'll close these mountains off, and we are looking for color, set color. Okay, this is the setting that we're looking for. Add start, change it to overlife. This way we're going to have a nice gradient setting for all the different hearts. So I'm going to go to change color overlife, and I'll go for this second preset, right? Click on presets, take the second one, and now you can apply your own colors to it. So I'm going to go into this pink setting, pink, violet, magenta setting, and change this black to a nice vibrant pink like this, right? And maybe you want to apply a little more hue definition to it, so this way it doesn't just blend into the background, right? Superb. This looks good. So let's just preview things now, and we're getting somewhere. This is good. Okay, superb. This looks good. This looks very nice. Maybe change this a bit and make this a little more white. Yeah, much better. See? Superb. Now, awesome people, we have created the big hearts. Let's try to add a little more depth and a little more fill to the whole design. So I'll duplicate hearts big, okay, and I'm going to basically create many hearts now. So I'm going to change the particles per second to say I don't know, 500. This way they're going to be many hearts over here, but what we'll do is we'll come down to particle size, and we'll change the particle size down to 10. So this way we're going to get a little more fill in our design, and we'll reduce the size random to 50. So what's going to happen is now we have some big hearts, but we also have some nice small hearts. And also one thing that I would like to show you is that right now, as you can see, everything starts from 0, which is something that you may be looking for, but what I want is I want everything to be there on the 0 frame. So what we'll do is we'll go to Hearts Big, I'll go to Emissions Extra, and I'll increase the pre-run up to 100. I'll also do this for Hearts Big, and I'll go to Emissions Extra, increase the pre-run over here. So now I'll try to rename Hearts Big to Hearts Medium, right? This way we know what layer is what, and this looks good. Now let's try to create a Hearts Small. This is, so we'll duplicate Hearts Medium, rename this to Hearts Small, like so, and then I'll increase the particles per second to 1500. Or you can even take it to 5,000 or 3,000 if you want. If you have a 4K composition, this would really work with that. But right now I think 3,000 would be overkill. I'll change this to 2,000. And I'll decrease the size to just 2 or 3. That's it. This way we're going to get some very details, right? As you can see, some very nice details. Maybe I'll change it to 5. And now you have to understand, awesome people, that I'm on a very limited time to show you my techniques. If you sit down to experiment and create a nice design, things are going to be a lot better for you. And as you can see, things are getting a little difficult now. The rendering is taking a little time. One thing that we are missing in this full design though is no camera. So we'll create a camera, Control Shift Alt C, or right click over here, new camera. And I'll just go for 28 mm, click OK, and this looks good. Now I'll double click on the camera, hit A key 2 times, sorry, not double click, A key 2 times, switch on the depth of field, and I'll increase the aperture to 150. This is going to give us some very good blurs, as you can see, some very interesting blurs, and you can use a focus distance to adjust what is blurred out. So right now, as you can see, mainly the midground is all blurry and the background is also a little blurry, but what I want is I want the foreground elements to be in focus and background to be blurry. So you'll have to adjust and play with the focus distance a little bit and see what gets you what. Right, so as you can see, if I'm increasing it, I'm bringing more of the background in focus, right? And when I decrease this down to say 600, my foreground is going to be in focus, right? This right here. So depends on what kind of look you want to have, and then you can make your adjustments like that. I'm going to go for say 1200, and again these are just settings that are working for me right now. I'm going to go to Hearts Medium and increase this to 750. This way I'm going to get a little more depth in the scene. The scene is looking a little empty-ish to me, right? If I compare it to my design that was already done, you can see that things are a little empty over here. So you can go to Hearts Big, increase the particles per second, go to Hearts Small, maybe increase its size to say 7, right? And they'll pop a little bit better. Go to Hearts Big, change this to 50, Hearts Medium, and I'll just go basically increasing numbers to fill the full screen, right? Alright, this looks good. Next, what you can do is, or at least what I have done, is I've also added some dot particles, if you can see over here, some sphere made particles. One way to do this is to Control Y, Particular, and apply Particular on this, right? And I'll increase the number to 1000. And I'll change this. Actually, it's a lot better if we just use the different particulars that we have already created instead of doing everything from scratch. So I'll duplicate this. I'll rename this to just dots 01, and I'll go here and I'll change this to sphere. I'll change the color to white. I think it's set at start. Change it to white, and I'll reduce the size of this to just 2 or 3. That's it. Right, and what you can do is right now this is looking nice, it's looking very good. It's actually creating itself right in the center, in the place where hearts was. But what you can do is you can go to position Z in the emitter setting, and you can bring them a little closer to the camera. This way a lot of them are in focus and you get a little bit more detail in them. Or you can reduce its size down to 1, and increase the number to say 5000, you know, or maybe to 1.5, and get details like this. Now if you play things are going to be very time consuming, awesome people. Your graphic card, your processor, your SSD, everything is going to kick in right now. And as you can see, we are getting a very low FPS. We're not even getting 1 FPS per second. So this is just very slow, but when this is rendered, this is going to look very nice. So here's a quick little 1-second render that I made, and as you can see, it's a very small preview actually, but it's looking quite nice, right? And here is how you can do it. So if you experiment a little bit more, awesome people, you can create some very good designs using these methods. And you can add your partner's name in the center. So you can take the text tool, type out Jenny, right? And just bring it in the center, make it white please, not gray. And change it to a nice font. I don't really know, ALS script maybe, right? And have a nice animation done like that. So we'll change the kerning, and Jenny, and thank you for being in my life, and all of that. So this is my simple video on how to create this in Adobe After Effects. You can create many cool things like this in After Effects using this technique. And here is the final preview that I had made once again. So again, this is something that you can create, but you'll have to invest a little more time in this. So this was my tutorial. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone.